1st, and we are continuing that beautiful new moon in Aquarius. It is still in effect. The energy is definitely still there. So try to set your intentions. If you want to know a bit more about that, listen to my video that I uploaded yesterday on January 31st. Okay, some of those messages might and still will resonate with you. Okay, so today we have the Lovers card in reverse, the Two of Swords in reverse, and the Two of Cups. This is crazy. Okay, so partnerships are highlighted. It's not just about you today. This is a day where you don't want to do it alone. You can do it alone if you absolutely have to, but most of you will opt not to try to do it alone. Anytime I see, and I titled this Out with the Old and In with the New, because it seems like some of you have let go of a very serious relationship that you were probably in, or a very serious partnership that you were possibly in, and you might be picking up a new partnership or a new friendship or something like that. But yeah, it's definitely about other people and like seeing yourself through other people. Hey, melanated. So, yeah, let's get into it. So, having the Lovers card in reverse, it could be devastating to lose someone you care about. And I'm not feeling this in a physical sense. It could be, yeah, I guess, right? But more like on an emotional level. It's hard when you feel like you're growing apart from someone sometimes, or when a relationship just isn't what it used to be, or when you realize that, I actually was just writing about this last night, that nobody can properly love us until we love us. And I say that a lot because it's so true. And we think we're loving ourselves, but we're most definitely not a lot of the times. When you look at some of the things that you deal with in relationships, friendships, jobs, are you really loving yourself? And I know that we have responsibilities, children, things like that, but we have to find a healthy medium of being able to work with other people and compromise, right? Everything isn't going to always go our way. Everything isn't always going to be a yes. Sometimes it's going to be a no, and we just have to deal with that. But with that being said, it's still an energy of it shouldn't constantly be a no. It shouldn't constantly be a disappointment in some areas. So pay attention to this Lovers card that is here for you, because there might be a shakeup. And I saw like a visual of like like when you put marbles in your hand and you just kind of shake it and then throw it, or like how people do with dice. So you still might not know what you're going to get today. You might think that while you're listening to this, oh, she must be talking about my boyfriend, or she must be talking about my mom, and it ends up being someone else. Or maybe you need to shake it up. Maybe you need to spice it up a little bit in your love life. If you're constantly complaining about some lover, then possibly replace them. Maybe don't make it official until after February 4th or 5th or so. But it just could be that. For some of you all, this isn't getting rid of a relationship. This is just reevaluating and rejuvenating, if is that a word? I don't know. Adding life into a relationship. I always joke when I teach tarot about the Two of Cups versus the Lovers card, how this card is the high school relationship card for me, and this is the marriage card for me. But when it's in reverse, and the Two of Cups is upright, I feel like that might be melanated. I'm laughing at you. Sorry, you all, if you're watching a replay, I'm in the comments. But yeah, sometimes you need to get the spice back, or sometimes you need to kind of dial it back a little bit. I think sometimes when we get older, relationships can get a bit too serious, and we forget to travel, we forget to have fun, we forget to just joke a little bit. And so maybe something like that happens, or you realize I'm over that, like I said, that staleness, and I'm on to something new. All right. So contracts might be under revision today. Relationships will be tested. Okay, so be ready. Next, we have the Two of Swords in reverse, and the Two of Swords has been visiting us a lot. Oh, look at her. She's going through it. It's like all these things are like, me, no, let me get her. Let me fuck with her a little bit. So you might feel a little bit attacked. You might feel a little bit attacked today. You might feel like people are coming from every which way, coming for me. And you might just have to lean on that friend who don't play about you. Sometimes I think we should all stand up for ourselves, but sometimes we're just taken back. I remember sometimes I would be in a situation where, of course, if there was like any bodily harm about to be done to me or something like that, I could defend myself. But There would be times where somebody just was so rude, I would just be taken back. Like, really? Like, did that person just say that to me? Or like, I don't even really know how to respond, you know? Um, and then later on you think about it and you're like, oh my God, I should have fucking told her off. You know what I mean? Like sometimes people, depending on how they are rude to you, you contemplate on it and you don't know if you were just tripping, over analyzing, or if it was actually them being rude. And then I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I've had that happen to me before. And you know, nothing better than a friend stepping in, checking the hell out of somebody sometimes. Now I found myself in life most of the time being that friend, but that's neither here nor there. You know, sometimes it has been those situations of just kind of being like, man, you know, I just can't believe this. And I think that anger is rarely the answer in most cases, even when you are being attacked by these birds. Because I mean, she's like swatting the hell out of these birds, like trying to get them away. When in reality, and let me see what she's grabbing on. Hold on, let me see, what is that? Like, what is she doing? Like, take the blindfold off and then beat the hell out of the crows, right? Or take the blindfold off and then maybe they wouldn't even be able to get at you like that. But this girl has been going through some stuff. And sometimes she doesn't want to see outside of her trauma. Some people don't want to be rescued. I would say something, but then that's going to be a little too urban for this channel. Look, I was going to say, these hoes don't want to be saved, okay? Let me stop. But, you know, some people, for my people who listen to rap, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know, it's a lot of ratchet songs out there about not saving them. But anyway, make sure you're not the one trying to be saved or saving, all right? And some people don't, what I'm getting at for even people who don't know what the hell I'm talking about, some people do not want to be rescued from the hell that they have turned into a heaven. Some people get to a place where they are so comfortable in that toxic ass relationship or that toxic friendship or that toxic work environment to where you're trying to come in the urban community, we call it being Captain Save-A-Ho, and you just need to let people drown, or you just need to let a person figure it out. Especially if you keep trying to help, or you helped before, you tried to give them advice, and I hate using that word, but hey, it is what it is. And they don't listen. And I hate to make light of situations like this because it can be very stressful and toxic. You know, I've talked to clients of mine, thank the heavens I've never had to deal with this, but one of my very dear friends, obviously I'm not going to say her name for the purpose of, you know, privacy, but I remember she was telling me how she would go and rescue her sister from her domestic partner, her abusive. Her sister was dealing with domestic abuse, okay? And long story short, she kept saving her. She kept going over there. She kept going over there, helping her, giving her money. She was already like the go-to person of the family who everybody went to. Like, she kept trying to help her sister out of this domestically abusive relationship. Is that what it's called, y'all? Mercury is still retrograde. I can't get my words together, but the sister kept going back to him. And I'm not making light of abuse because it is very mental when people abuse you, or even sometimes when, you know, people, Pisces do this a lot. They will try to win over their enemies. And it's like, don't try to, hey, Sky, don't try to win over your enemies. Naturally, by you shining your light and doing you and being the best person you can be, either people are going to deal with you and fuck with you, or either they're not. You shouldn't ever have to be trying to get the approval of a friend group or the approval of a relationship. And I have to talk to my niece about this all the time. I'm like, look, if those little mean girls at school don't want to be friends with you, screw them. Make another friend group. You know, how much more attractive is that by not tripping off of somebody who doesn't even like you? But sometimes when we don't value ourselves, or when we don't accept ourselves, we are turned on by chasing someone, or we are turned on by not being accepted because we don't accept ourselves. And so we befriend people who don't even like us, or we get in relationships with people who don't even really like us, but we're so obsessed with wanting their approval. So I don't know who this is for, but what I'm saying is that we all have to be able to see our mess in our life, and we all got chaos somewhere in our life, right? Might not be chaos, but we all have a stressful area. We all have an annoying part of us that is just like, right? Whether it's an insecurity, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a business, it's something. And once you see that irritant, know your triggers. Like, don't keep picking at it. Try to find a solution. And for some of you, it'll be, finding a friend who can help you with this. But make sure that if you're helping someone or you're wanting to be helped, you can also return the favor. Don't be like my friend who, if obviously she stopped doing it, right? But she would keep going over there helping her sister in this abusive relationship, and the sister didn't even want to get out of it. You have to see your own hell before anybody else can rescue you from it. And if you want to get comfortable burning in that toxic environment, then what can we do? You know? But on a higher note, I feel like today you will find that friend. Today you will find someone who you connect with. And even if it's, hey, I'm not ready to leave that abusive relationship, or I'm not ready to leave, but at least I have a friend to vent to, or at least I have someone to talk to, a therapist, somebody. You're never alone. All right. So, and I know someone was asking in the comments, hey Sky, about a personal reading. If you do ever want to get a personal reading with me, you can always get a personal reading with me by emailing me at crystalneath@gmail.com. Spelled just like my channel, obviously, crystalneath@gmail.com. And I'll send you over my information with booking. Besides that, you all, if you like these videos, please hit that like button. As I said before, you all have been doing an amazing job with liking the videos. Please keep it up. And as always, I hope you have a great one. I'll